Alright guys, we'll come to you with another video. I hope all is well with y'all. So, I was just thinking about something that was kind of on my mind and what have you. And I was just thinking about, why I mess with the Chestinians so tough, or Daegestanis, I guess that's their name. Why mess with them so tough in the realm of fighting, in combat sports, in boxing. One of my favorite fighters, current active fighters right now, and granted he doesn't have a style that usually would appeal to me, but he has kind of subtle things that he does that I can say I can appreciate, basically. Arthur Baturbiev, he's from that Dagestan region. The Khabib Nurmagomedov, whatever his last name is, he's from that Dagestan region. There's something about them that I like, though, and I think it has to do with where they come from, what part of the world they're from. The thing is about Dagestan is that it is indeed a part of Russia, but it's still autonomous. It's not necessarily like part of, mainstream Russia, because you have to understand something. Russia is a big region. And so when you look at that region of Dagestan and you see pictures of it and things like that, it's in the trenches, bro. Like, it's a war-torn place. You know what I mean? It's not really for the faint of heart. As I said in one of my breakdown videos, you have to be basically built different to be there. For the simple fact, like, Khabib came up wrestling bears. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the boxers and stuff like that, they're still doing good work too. I mean, I think one Olympic gold right now. I think one Olympic silver. So there's a new crop of even boxers coming up from that region of Dagestan. And the thing is, the history of Dagestan is a little bit different from Russia, because of the simple fact that you had, at first, I forgot who the first inhabitants were, but you had the first inhabitants, then you had the Persians, and then you had the Arabs, who came under the reign of Omar al-Khattab, Rahmatullah alayhi, and into Dagestan. As a result of that, the Islamic religion left its lasting impression there. Unfortunately, due to certain elements in the religion that came from Saudi Arabia, basically extremism took place there. And so in that region, that whole region, you had like bloody affairs, and you had bloody conflicts between mainstream Russia and insurgents who were still trying to keep it autonomous and trying to build something else, that was outside of the mainstream Russia. Because you have to understand something, and that's another video in itself. I'll probably have to watch like hours upon hours of videos. But when the Bolshevik Revolution happened in Russia, and that whole Soviet bloc was under the socialism, you had Russia, you had regions like Azerbaijan, you had Uzbekistan, you had Bosnia, you had Chechnya, you had I think Bulgaria, you had Hungary, I believe you had Romania. All of these were under a socialist bloc, right? So they were basically following the same protocols. Once the socialist bloc broke up, then because of the Cold War, it broke up. Then you had them just be independent entities. You know what I mean? So I say this all to say that basically, because these people came from the trenches, they're built very, very different, you know. And I can really appreciate this and take some pages out of their books. And I'm going to give you the pages that I definitely took out of their books and am still taking out of their books right now. You know, when it comes to me, I try to get to know people. And although I'm a reclusive and closed-off person, if we're open to dialogue, then I'll take the dialogue, you know. And so there's one guy in my boxing gym, and he's from Daegestan. And I remember sparring that guy, and I had to keep my composure because that dude hits like a Mack truck. Okay, and I was like, okay, let me stay cool. Like, this guy's a heavy puncher. Like, this guy's a very big puncher. But me and him got to talking. I was talking about Africa, you know, our challenges and things like that, and like what we endured, you know, even after independence, like our civil war and things like that, our lack of resources, our lack of everything. I just went into the whole spiel. And then he says, it sounds like my region of Daegestan. And so the thing is I was reading something, and I will say that, you know, poverty has a big effect on how we do things. Poverty can really, honestly, affect the way we think. You know what I mean? Poverty can make us do hasty things that we don't want to do, but we're doing it just based out of the necessity to have a means to an end. Poverty can create lack of productivity even, you know. When you don't have like the basic resources like housing, food, hygiene, and things like that, the basics, then you're operating from a place of, how should I say it, like not at your fullest potential. But the thing about these Daegestanis is they manage to thrive in these conditions. You know what I mean? So the lesson I take from that is fortitude. They have big time mental fortitude. Okay? Like, seriously. They can come from a war-torn region. Things where people can come in their house, take them, kill them. At one time, BBC even said this is one of the most dangerous places in the world. So they still manage to thrive, and they still manage to wiggle through the cracks. And now you see them in boxing. Now you see them in MMA. Now, granted, I don't really follow that much MMA that much, but, you know, obviously I follow boxing. So the lesson that can be learned from them is, although it is hard, mental fortitude. You know, you need mental fortitude being in South Central LA. When I was back when I first got here, you know what I mean? When I first got here, it was crazy. I knew it was real because one of my OGs, he sat me down, because he saw it was wet behind the ears, and he said that every day you walk out of your house around here, there's a chance you could die, or there's a chance that you can go to jail. And so I'm going to show you how you can avoid those things better. And so that's how real it was. You know what I mean? So for me to just be here making a video is an accomplishment in itself due to that background or that part of my life that I came from. You know what I mean? And so although it is very difficult because we're always met with challenges every day, mental fortitude is something I definitely took from these Daegestani dudes, man. Because they definitely got it, coming from where they come from. The other lesson I took from them is discipline. The thing is I know it sounds crazy, but those dudes are almost like robots. Seriously. They kind of remind me of robots. The thing is, and I think religion has a lot to do with it, but at the same time, like, religion doesn't really guarantee that you're gonna be upright, or that you're gonna be a model citizen. Religion doesn't really guarantee. But when you look at author Baturbiev, married family man, when you look at I want to say could be married family man, when you look at Dmitry Bivol, now I'm not sure if he's from that region, but I believe he is. I think he is. I'm not quite sure. But married and family man, these dudes are just completely disciplined. They have a discipline. They don't engage in anything that the fame can bring. They never change their persona. They always stand on their square. The money never changed them. The money never made them change into something that may be unrecognizable to their close friends and family. Unfortunately, some people fall through the cracks when it comes to that. The perfect example is Adrian Broner. He's an example. You have Andrew Ruiz, who, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but ever since he lost the rematch to Anthony Joshua, he hasn't really looked spectacular, in this last outings, in this last fight. He hasn't really looked that good, That's why I think the change of trainer wasn't necessarily required. I think it's a matter of change your mindset and change your habits. And he would have been okay with the trainer he was using before. But he didn't go that route, unfortunately. So that's one thing I can get from these dudes. They kind of have a blueprint going on that could work, that could be applied to different areas of your life. But the one last thing I want to talk about is, granted, they can have their choose, their choice of the glitter when it comes to the women and whatnot, but they just stand on their square, and they don't give these women any time of day. Even the Daegestani dude I know in the gym, he never gave time of day, man. He's always on the square. And that's the one thing I can respect about them, is they stay on their square. And they kind of do, like, when I say, like, they kind of do got that alphaness, you know, that you can like and rub off on because of their upbringing, because of where they come from, because they're living in a mountainous area. You know, they have that, and that definitely rubbed off on me. You know what I mean? Like, when you get around people who are just like so focused, so tuned in, but still calm, quiet, collected in what they're doing, you know, it has no choice but to rub off on you. So, yeah, man, shout outs to them. Shout outs to all the active Daegestani fighters. You know, I kind of feel, you know, and this may have to do with their religious beliefs. I kind of feel that, I mean, when you look at Khabib in UFC, he was pretty disliked by a lot of people. He was disliked by the mainstream media, you know what I mean? Because he stood for something, you know? And it's kind of the same in boxing. You would think that, like, dudes like who have the complexion for the perfection, so to say, would be getting pushed more. You know what I mean? You would think that dudes like Arthur Beterbiev, Bivol, and what have you would be getting pushed more, but they don't. You know what I mean? Definitely not as much as Triple G did or Lomachenko did. And they kind of share a similar geographical origin. I think a lot of that has to do with their what they stand on, the religious principles they stand on, and what have you. But I can definitely appreciate it, you know. Most definitely I can appreciate it. You know, as I said, I asked with Beterbiev because for me personally, at his age, he should be thinking retirement, but he's like still going, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on that, you know, because again, you have to be a tough son of a you know what to be able to thrive where they come from. You know, just watch a documentary on Daegestan, you know, just to see how real it is. You know, it's definitely a real thing that they got going on over there, you know. And so, shout outs to the Daegestani fighters. And hopefully we get some more good ones in the boxing ranks, you know. And yeah, man, that's all I got for now. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. If you happen to come across this video and you are from Daegestan or that region, please feel free to leave some fighters' names on the bottom of the video so I can research them and see how they look. But anyhow, Fuller signing out. One more thing I would like to add too is that in regards to the female type thing, the Daegestanis are going to be the dudes that modern Western women are going to say, oh, they're weird, oh, they're gay, oh, they hate women, oh, this, that, and the other. It's because they're so disciplined, they stay on their square. And also, the thing is I noticed that the thing is about like most modern Western women is they like dudes to be clean cut and lack facial hair, basically. Most of them Daegestani dudes, for the most part, have full beards. You know what I mean? Me, I have a full beard as well. And so this look is not really popular, you know what I mean? And so I like the fact that, you know, this wasn't compromised for the appealing of Western women, you know, and appreciate that. But yeah, man, just want to add that little tidbit of information, you know, because it can help dudes. I think if dudes follow what they do and follow their temperament and their demeanors in attacking goals and just general overall life things, it may be able to produce some good. But anyhow, man, that's all I got. Full signing out. Enjoy.